I'm sure everyone already knows what's happened there. Wall Street bets people just started driving up the stock of GameStop, and they're valued at like I don't know, like 17,000% more than they were before.
Yeah.
Some ridiculous number, and it's just crazy to see like that they picked something like GameStop. I know in the past, Serge especially, we talked about GameStop and
Yeah.
what they need to do to change. Do you think these events that have happened recently, what do you guys think this will do to GameStop and the business? Is it going to affect in any way?
Um, well, I mean, I'm big into investing in also crypto, so stuff like this, it happens a lot. You normally don't see this in Wall Street. You see this a lot in cryptocurrencies,
Yeah,
where the volatility it's just all over the place. But for GameStop in general, it's gonna help them at least a bit. They apparently what they're saying is they're gonna shift their focus to making more electronics and making more, not just being a business about games, because that part of their business I think won't ever come back, and they're gonna definitely have to adapt. And this is it's just a fresh start for them.
yeah,
It gives them a new opportunity to come back, as maybe a different company, maybe a rebranding, um, something to change their business. Because in the end of this, it could have been any company. It was GameStop. Now you see this the same thing with AMC, Nokia, a bunch of these old companies that a lot of people are trying to bring back just because the hedge fund people, they bet for them to fail, essentially, and people are upset about that. They always want these companies to fail so that they make money off of them. So
yeah,
it was just great to see, like the little man's fighting back. So and GameStop's there, man. Gamers are into their revolutions. So it's
yeah.
it's it's funny to see for sure. But I mean, it's great for people. I never knew how many people did not know about the stock market. How it works.
Right.
People were all over Twitter just asking questions about stuff like this, and I'm like, this has been going on for ages. Any business person knows how at least the stock market works, and
Yeah.
it's just it was interesting. Everyone who was on Twitter definitely kept an eye on this.
Yeah, it's crazy because I like personally I've been investing for years now,
Yeah.
and worked in invested like part of the reason I was able to buy my house was because of good investments that we've made
Hmm.
over the years.
Oh,
And
nice.
it's insane to see people be like, "Oh, stock market," and everyone's like, "Oh, buy GameStop." Like I have so many homies hitting me up now, being like, "Dude, should I buy? Should I not?" And I was like, "When did I become the stock expert?" And it's hilarious.
Yeah.
You're the go-to
And
guy that knows his stuff.
Yeah.
yeah, and it's crazy because essentially what happened is a group of people came together and said, "We're gonna." It's supply and demand, right? We're all gonna
Yeah.
buy this stock and bring up the value of GameStop.
Yeah.
For GameStop, I think I agree with you, sir. I think it helps them. I think it helps because I mean GameStop as it is right now, it doesn't look like they've changed their business model.
Yeah.
And of course, they had a little spike during the holidays because the new consoles
And
coming
the
out,
pandemic.
and yeah, in the pandemic, people were gonna be buying games, and but because of the pandemic, you also see less people being in stores. Most GameStops, I think I've seen in like
Yeah.
malls,
Yeah.
and so they have less foot traffic coming through. I think what this does more than anything is buy them time
Yeah.
to
Definitely.
to change their model, and because we already had seen GameStop start on a
Hmm.
decline long before the pandemic,
Yeah.
but even then, they're especially with like digital games coming out and like PlayStation and
Hmm.
Xbox coming out with their Game Pass
Yeah, more
and all that
online.
stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
all this online gaming. So I think what it allows GameStop is from a financial perspective, they have their own shares that they can sell off to make money and to stay afloat even longer in time for them to change their model if they
Yeah.
have to. Yeah, and you
Yeah.
mentioned Serge, they've been talking about electronics, so I
Yeah.
think yeah, that would be a natural next step.
Yeah, if I was running the business, I would tell them to completely rebrand and become a Newegg, a Newegg, completely digital,
Hmm.
be a electronics provider. They sell PC parts, turn into a PC retailer. They have to change their business model. The whole GameStop, their stores are gonna go under, so they have to just drop the whole business as a whole and rebrand it, because
Yeah,
that sadly, the business as it was is not coming back, and I don't think it ever will. But you either adapt or die. So they have to adapt right now, and like you said, it buys them more time to do the changes that they want, or at least come up with a new plan.
Yeah. What do you think, Neil?
Um, I think it will help, and especially buy them time because of
Hmm.
the whole pandemic thing, and like they were GameStop was to Wall Street investors, they were really like in doubt with GameStop. They were
Yep.
already ready to see it fail.
Yeah.
And yeah, it just skyrocketed, and then the GameStop is backed by so many out there, especially like forums, Reddit,
Yeah.
so it's cool to see that GameStop is you know, picked up a little bit during the
Yeah.
pandemic, especially.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I was gonna say it was funny how people were saying that GameStop, after ripping you off for so many years, finally they pay you back, right? After
Yeah.
selling your brand new game for $2, that you finally get that money back somehow. I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it was funny, man.
The
It
irony.
really was nice to see a lot of people come together, right? GameStop united the country for a weekend, and it was kind of crazy. And you saw two Republicans and Democrats all on the same boat, so
Yeah.
it was kind of interesting.
Yeah, it's really cool to see, and even when it came to this, like obviously you had the people that were investing just to like give it to the man to
Yeah.
screw up the hedge funds. But there, I mean, I saw on the forums. I mean, Neil pointed it out. Like you actually saw a lot of people that are like, I don't want to see GameStop fail, so I'm going to invest
Yeah.
in them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And GameStop, it has a feeling of nostalgia for so many of us,
Yeah.
and not only that, like I know like they've tried to change their models over the years. Like
Mm-hmm.
there's very few places that you can get video game memorabilia. Like
Right.
I bought like a Monopoly board game that's
Yeah.
Zelda themed from them, and they have all like the little action figures, and I like buying stuff there for like my nieces and nephews. So and they have stuff there that you don't necessarily see in other places either.
Yeah,
So
they started selling like electronics, right? They started selling iPhones or buying iPhones and stuff
yeah,
like that. They were doing a bunch of new stuff.
yeah. So they're already in the process of changing, and hopefully this will give them the edge
Yeah.
to kind of stay afloat, and hopefully we don't see them leave.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Because they've been
Yeah.
a staple of the gaming community for years now, so
Hmm.
it'd be good for them to stick around a little longer.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully, this
Hands
teaches
down.
people that there's other ways to support businesses that you do care about too, right?
Yep.
While the stocks are, it's a money making, it's essentially a casino.
Yeah.
You still put money on people on businesses you want to succeed and you want to support, such as Tesla. I think that the main reason that Elon Musk was so into this was because these hedge funds try to do that to
Yeah.
him and
Yep.
Tesla. So, supporting businesses, there's so many ways you can do it. So it was just, yeah, again, just awesome to see.